Hello YouTube. Um, this is a video that I have mentioned for the past couple videos making. Um, this is my storing video. Finally, I'm recording this on January 23rd. Uh, finally, after what does that make it? Set 7. That makes it like 6 months. Like pretty, yeah. I think 6 months. A little over 6 months since the release of This Is For back in July of 2025. Um, that I'm actually finally sitting down and storing not the POBs. I've actually maybe 3 or 4 videos ago, I think I recorded a POB and Lucky Draw like extra card storing video for This Is For uh, a couple months ago at this point. I'm finally getting to store the album photo cards. So this is for since I've started collecting, like actively hardcore collecting Twice photo cards, sometime in 2019, I believe it was. Um, I think This Is For is probably the era that's taken me the longest to actually complete the album cards for, in terms of eras that came after I started collecting. Because how I kind of did collecting when I started was I was like, okay, it's a lot to start from like UA, or not like UA, the story begins, and try to like complete all the OT9 sets between the story begins and like I think Feel Special, or uh, whenever I started collecting up until that point. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to start collecting now, starting with the next comeback, which ended up being, I think, more and more actually. So I must have started collecting late in 2019, or decided to start collecting. And when I started, I was like, okay, every era starting now, as it comes out, like I will laser focus, like top priority on completing each new era, full OT9, everything, all photo cards primarily, but like even inclusions. I collect all OT9 inclusions for every era that comes out as well. Um, Also, since solos have happened in that time, I've added solo album cards in there. I collect from M9 all the way through. Still in the process of grabbing the little fancy stuff, but once I have that done, you know, the trend of fully collecting album inclusions for solos as well that I've added will continue. And since I started that, since I kind of started my collecting with that in mind, This Is For the 6 months it's taken me to finally finish This Is For has been, I think, by a decent margin, the longest it's taken for me to have all the album photo cards I'm collecting for an era on hand, like complete. Um, no grand reason for that except that I was kind of inefficient in certain ways with how I approached collecting This Is For. Not for in Again, to repeat myself, not for any real reason other than um, I just don't have a consistent strategy I utilize for This Is For. I bought a lot of raw album copies. I think I've mentioned an unreleased video that I may release at one point, um, just to get it off my hard drive, where I it's basically an unboxing I did for 27 of the Nemo copies for This Is For, like the full, like 9 of each sub Nemo version, as well as 9 copies of the confetti version. uh I don't typically buy that many albums, like raw album copies these days. Strategy, I also did something a little similar. I remember I bought the 9 digipacks and 9 of the strategy uh copies for strategy, and then before that, for with youth, I had bought like the my 24 copy Nemo unboxing. So it's not like I don't buy albums at all, but that was the most albums I bought for a comeback in a decently long time, uh referring to the confetti and Nemo versions for This Is For. So that's just one thing that kind of that in tandem with just dealing with a lot of other stuff that was coming out around the time. Like, I have a big package on the way of a bunch of built up group orders I've joined from my primary group order manager from the past like 5 months, including a lot of the story goes on POBs and lucky draws and stuff. But that aside, basically just some weird decision making on my end led to it taking this long to. Also, I will say the story goes on coming out so soon after. It's been a long time since I've been used to a twice comeback happening so shortly after the previous one. Even though the story goes on, like Me Plus You wasn't like a full comeback in terms of promotions. In terms of physical versions and like photo cards and stuff, it was definitely just a full ass comeback. So that all, like, the story goes on coming out also delayed me completing some of the This Is For stuff I was like kind of planning to grab in the time span that the story goes on was happening. So compounding factors, but finally ready to store This Is For. I did mention at the end of my last video that I was planning to make one big storing video, photo card storing video, for the album photo cards for both This Is For and The Story Goes On. I still am waiting on the last like 4 or so The Story Goes On photo cards that I need to complete my album sets. They're mainly just the cast, like the normal version, the cast version photo cards. But I just didn't feel. I think splitting those videos will make more sense to watch, as well as I just want to get the This Is For stored and out of like the storage like boxes that I have it in. I want to get it in my binders. I'm just tired of waiting. So with that in mind, let's begin. So this is a new binder I started. This is now, I think my Korean album cards with this binder included now are split into 3 binders. One is like, I think one is like 3 inches and the other is like, and the other 2 are 2 inches, including this one. Actually, is this 2 inches? This might be 1.5 inches. I think this is 1.5 inches actually. Either way. Strategy is the first era in here. So we'll turn to the back. And I have everything for This Is For pre-sleeved in their final like Dragon Shield sleeves that I use for actually storing the album cards I collect. As well as a fresh pack of Meow Cafe 9 pocket pages. Let's see. I counted before I started. I think I will need, what is 8 times 2? 16? I think I'm going to need 16 pages. Is how many 9 card sets I'm storing today. Oh, I definitely opened this in a way that rips the packaging. Ugh, oh well. Okay. I'm not going to count out 16 exactly. I'm just going to grab a chunk. I'll grab like half, and then that'll probably be a little short, but I'll just replenish with more pages as needed. Okay. Are these right side up? They are. All right. I was noticing I'm so inconsistent with certain things. Like for strategy, where is it? For strategy, I have, so I double checked this with youth as well. For with youth and strategy, I have the Nemo normal cards in front. Like the sequence I have them is normal version, like photo book version cards, like the 45 card set. then the Nemos, specifically the normal like 9-piece sets that come with each copy first, and then the special cards for each Nemo subversion. Oh wait, oh this this is something else I need to do actually. Real quick, we're gonna take a detour. I am apparently a stupid idiot in that I can't shout them out by name, but on one of my videos that involved, I think, storing strategy. I think it might have been the strategy storing video. Apparently, I'm just wrong. I don't know how this happened, but I got it in my head that this concept right here, the black like kind of almost like nightwearish outfit concept was step 2. So the photo book versions of strategy, 3 versions are step 1 version, step 2 version, and step 3 version, all with different concepts. This is step 1. I'm not confused about that. That's correct. This is the step 1 concept. I thought this was step 2, this concept, and this final like pink and red concept was step 3. But it turns out this concept is step 3, and the black outfits are, or no, this red and pink is step 2, and this black version is step 3. So I have my shit all fucked up. And I read this like a month ago, and I was like, oh, I'll fix it next time I get into my binders to actually store this is 4. And that didn't happen for a long time. That hasn't happened until now. So let me go ahead and get this untwisted. I was so sure. Like I don't know how that happened. I thought this has just been, this being step 2 and the pink and red concept being step 3 has just been correct in my mind since strategy came out. It's very funny. Okay. So as we saw there, Nemo, how I have the Nemos is normal sets first and then the special cards. So I think I'll do that here. But I think I actually pre-sorted these cards in the order I was going to store them. I think I'll need to change that up when I get to the Nemos. And then the digipacks and the special secret version, in this case the confetti version stuff, last. So let's see. This is 4 era ended up being overall pretty short due to it being kind of spun into the start of the tour of the This Is 4 tour, which is totally fine. But the real thing that made This Is 4 seem extra short is that we got The Story Goes On very shortly after, which wasn't a full comeback the same way This Is 4 was. But in terms of like stuff to collect, at least like the physical side of things, definitely felt like a full comeback. So there's, and this, how is this before? What are the versions again? This version is version and 4 version. So yeah, and I've double checked. I'm sure this time that my version orders are correct. So this concept first. This concept, this version first, and then starting the is version. So for This Is 4, it looks like for the normal album Photocards, it looks like the split ended up being this version concept gets 1 set of 9, and then the other 2 concepts get 2 sets each. Which is kind of how they just have to. The fact that they do 5 normal like photo book version card sets makes it so that they just can't really ever have a truly even split of the concepts represented in the amount photo card, like a normal version album card sets that they have. Like if they had 6, so if they had instead of 45 cards per comeback for the normal versions, instead of going from 45 to 54, then they could just have 2 of each, or yeah, 2 of each concepts evenly. But we keep it pushing. I kind of appreciate the asymmetry though. Let's see. I think since the dust has kind of settled on This Is 4, in terms of it, like, in terms of me, like, thinking about the visual concepts and, like, kind of how I feel about each of them, I think I've landed on the this version be my favorite, which isn't, I assume, is like the case for a lot of people. It's like the most visually like interesting, I think. Not that the other concepts are bad; their style is great. I think the is concept is really dope. Like I like the lighting in like the street kind of area that they did a lot of these shoots. Oh, and Hansui's wavy hair for this concept. This concept, the 4 concept, I wasn't 100% sure on before, initially. I thought it was like pretty clearly the weakest. Again, not bad. I mean, the members would have to try much harder than they're capable of to actually just straight up look bad. But oh my god, cutie. But it's grown on me quite a bit. Like the almost like it's like an office concept, but it's like a weird, like, I can't even really explain it. It's not an office concept in the same way that they've done office concepts before. It's almost like a it's almost like a CEO concept, if that sort of makes sense. Like the shoot for this concept is in like a really nice looking, I think like almost penthouse looking, like office penthouse looking set. Oh, this Junghyun, damn. All right. I didn't double check actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, I guess I must have at some point. So, what I was gonna say is I didn't double check to make sure that like all the individual cards are in like roughly the correct subsets. So, for example, I'll finish this page real quick. But what I mean is like twice are hit or miss. Some eras they keep it they're really good about it. Other eras they're really bad about it. But oftentimes they will, to varying degrees of success, have some like thematic, usually via like a hand gesture or like a pose that the members are doing in the photos, like have a theme for each 9-card subset within the larger album photo card set. So like This Is 4 is actually a bad example because I don't think they kind of didn't hit 100% on anything. For example, like theoretically there's a set where like maybe there would be a set where all 9 members are doing something with their hands like close to their face, like Na Jung Mo are all doing not the same exact thing. Like Momo's doing peace, Nayeon's doing a heart, Jung Yeon is just hands in like hand kind of in front of her mouth. But maybe there would be like a set where that's the case. Every member is doing something with their hands, but then you have like the middle three members here are not doing, like Sana, Jihyo, and Mina not doing a single. Not their hands aren't even on the in the frame, and then the youngest three are back to doing all three of them with something with their hands, but it's not like I misplaced these three members on like the wrong set. Like the other is version set, these three members are still not doing anything with their hands. So there's just no way to make a set that's like a gesture set or like a hand pose set out of this concept, like out of This Is Four's album set. Whereas something like Strategy, like all 9 members were like locked in to like these subset themes. So like you can clearly see here, all 9 members are very clearly, you know, hand on cheek, or like I guess not on like hand on cheek or under chin or whatnot. This set they weren't doing anything with their hands or anything like that, but still very clearly just taking straight kind of photos. And then the set, like, you know, finger hearts. I guess not just finger hearts, but I guess Chaeyoung did like a hand heart, but still very, very clearly on theme. Yeah, and this set, like making the claw and like somewhere near their face, like very locked in. I was very surprised at how good they were about it with Strategy. And then This Is Four, they just fucking forgot. That's fine. That's totally fine. I think it's funny either way. But it kind of just makes it so that I just kind of throw the cards where they may be. If I do notice some sort of set theme, then I'll try. Like, for example, here, between these two sets, I noticed some of the members, not all the members, like Jihyo didn't have anything with her hand, like wasn't doing anything particularly like with her hand or anything between the two shots. But I noticed some of the members like were doing, like, you know, these 3 members, Na, Che, Tu, oh, and Mina as well, were doing like peace sign things. Dahyun had her hand on her face, so it's like, I just kind of put all those together. But again, it wasn't enough of the members to make like a full set. So here I'm going to put the Nemo cards. Starting with the normal cards, which this time are Pola style cards, which is a first. And I guess thinking about it, I guess The Story Goes On did continue this to an extent, because the Party Lovely version, which is a combination of the like super secret 4th type of album that we've gotten for the past few comebacks, as well as the Nemo versions. Like the Party Lovely version is both of those versions combined, and it has both the like the special card, the selfie card, as well as a Polaroid card for each member. So I guess Polaroid cards are back on the menu. I mean, not really back. I mean, we have them with Strategy too, but God damn it! I hate when they mix vertical or portrait and landscape photos within the same set. It just happens. I think it's cute. Honestly, I don't actually hate it, but it is a little goofy to look at. Like this page, actually, I don't know why they just didn't all take landscape photos. Oh, Mina's is very, very pretty. Dahyun. They were so close. Only 3 of them. Look, hold on. They only needed Momo, Mina, and Dahyun to have the full landscape set. And I think a full landscape set would actually look really nice. But mixed, it is just kind of funny. And the 4 concept. Let's see. The Nemo special cards are interesting. Usually they're kind of just concept cards. This time around, for both This Is 4 and even more so for the Party Lovely Polaroid cards from The Story Goes On, these are like, they're still not like selfies, like actual selfies, the way most of the album photo cards, the actual album photo cards are, but like, they're not quite, like, a lot of times they're not quite just straight concept photos either. They're like a little more, like a little more intimate than that, I guess, is maybe the word. Okay, so that's the Nemo. Oh no, now the Nemo special cards. So same deal. I do wonder, with The Story Goes On having a pretty wildly different format for the album versions compared to what we've gotten in the, like, twice up from like actually starting with Ready to Be and then slowly through to Strategy, had like kind of added like types of albums from the normal photo book type albums that we had for a long time. Like Ready to Be had the added the digipacks, the member cover digipacks, and then With Youth added the Nemos, and then Strategy added the like 4th limited edition type. I guess technically Nah added that one, but Strategy was the first group album that had a 4th album type. And now, so This Is 4 was the first comeback we've had in a while where there wasn't actually like a new type of album, which is fine. I think it's fine when they've added versions. I've liked the versions they've added. I also think it's fine if they take a break on adding versions. Eventually, you know, there would probably come a limit where it's like, okay, now you have 7. Now we have 7 like types of albums, all with like subversions. Maybe this is where it's a little much. But the story begins, or the story goes on, actually not only subtracted album types, because we went from 4 being like the photo book type albums, the digipack type albums, the Nemo type albums, and then the like super secret type albums, I'm calling them at this point, from Strategy, and This Is 4, we go to The Story Goes On, which not only takes it that number down from 4 to 3, but also in the process of doing that, like changes the formatting pretty drastically for the 3 album types that there were. So instead of like a photo book version with like 2 or 3 subversions, like, well, 2, 3, or 4 subversions, we got the cast version, which was simultaneously like one album version, but with also 9 versions. It had the solo member covers and like the photo books, but also had like the shared pool of like normal photo book version inclusions, like photocard, like the 45 photocard set, the like mini poster, stickers, all that. And then instead of the member cover digipacks, which the cast version kind of took over the member cover part, we had the episode version, which kind of just came out of nowhere. It was like it's not really a combination of pre-existing versions. It's just kind of its own, like, it was just like kind of a box, like a box with like cool Twice stuff in it, which I'm cool with. Like, ultimately, that's what most of the albums are. But But the episode version was just kind of interesting, and then the Party Lovely version was the third version, like album or type rather. That, and it was also like a very clear combination of version of like album types from previous comebacks, like a combination, as I mentioned before, of the Nemo albums plus like the super secret album version. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, the easy explanation for why that's the case is that it was like a special comeback, like simultaneously not really a full comeback, but also like different and still important from a full comeback, like from a normal comeback. So I assume that's the main reason for why the formats were so kind of different, and I don't imagine that the older, not old, but like slightly older format of albums where we have like the photo book versions and then the digipacks, like I don't think all that's like changed permanently for the rest of their comebacks, or like for future comebacks. But it is interesting to see what they'll do. They're willing to change it up when appropriate, which is cool. So now we move on. That was Nemo stuff. Yeah. Damn, gorgeous sets, honestly. And now the digipack. I think I may have accidentally put the exact right amount of pages in. Oh, wait, no, actually, no. No, I didn't, actually. Definitely will be shorts. So I also don't remember. Let me look for strategy. For strategy, the digipack. Okay, so for the digipack for strategy, I had the selfie cards, like the actual album selfie photo cards first, and then the pre-order bonus photo cards second. So okay, that's correct then. I want to just keep it however I had it previously, so that's what I'm doing here. Nice. I just had totally forgot off the dome. Let's see. I realize now that everything I said, everything I said about the like my favorite concept from the other like normal 3 version concepts was true, but asterisk, not including the 4th digipack / confetti concept, which is actually, of all the concepts for This Is 4, this is my favorite by like a lot. I just totally forgot about it when I was talking about the other 3, like the 3 basic version concepts. That's funny. Like, this concept's colorful. It's the members are all wearing pretty weird outfits overall. But definitely not bad. Not ugly, for sure. But weird as in like off the beaten path. Like very, very out there outfits. Dahyun. Dude, Dahyun with the long pigtails, like. Oh, also, Chaeyoung randomly. Oh, you can't really see it well in this photo card. I don't know why I'm choosing to talk about this with a more zoomed out shot of her, but I guess we'll see up here what I'm talking about with her. And this is the confetti set. So this is the kind of probably the most difficult. Actually, I think for This Is 4, this is still true. The confetti set probably is the most difficult set to collect of the album version photo cards. But it's kind of weird. The perception that my impression of what most people think is that most people think that the Nemo versions are harder to collect. Even for the couple of comebacks we've had now, where there's an album type that is like less common and more expensive than the Nemo copies. But I don't know. Oh yeah, Chaeyoung. Maybe it's hard to tell on camera, but got a bit of contact lens heterochromia. Pretty cool. I think she looks great with it, to be honest. Sui with the pink hair. I had the perfect amount of pages if those were the only things I was storing in this binder. So starting with This Is 4 and to an extent continuing with The Story Goes On, not today, but I am storing a couple extra 9-piece set, like OT9 sets, in my album photo cards. Oh, god damn it, please. Okay. 2 specifically. I'm putting 2 pages in. And these are the Target, specifically the Target pre-order bonus set, as well as the TikTok. Oh wait, that was kind of clean. I picked it up randomly, but it was just the exact split between the 2 sets. As well as the TikTok exclusive photo card set, which isn't really a POB set, but I don't really know what it is, how to think about it. In the past, for previous comebacks before This Is 4, This Is 4 started, and it's continuing so far through The Story Goes On, with Target cards for twice being actual unique selfie photo cards, like full ass, like unique selfie shots, instead of instead of concept cards of like teaser images that had already been released, which is what they were in the past. So in the past, I have collected Target cards, but only for Dahyun and Sui as part of like my POB Lucky Draw collection. Oh, that one didn't play again. But for This Is 4, I kind of wanted to collect the full OT9 set of Target cards, mostly because in terms of like cost, it's very easy to do so. They are maybe $4 or $5 per card, depending, which is much cheaper than most POBs. Like I couldn't really collect OT9 POBs completely, at least not all at once. And then the TikTok set is weird. There's just a random night, I remember, like a little bit after This Is 4 came out, where everyone, like people in some Instagram group chats I was on, was like, hey, they're dropping like a TikTok, like This Is 4 merch on like TikTok shop, including like a exclusive photo card set. And I was like, oh, what? So I managed to buy a copy of the TikTok photo card set. It was an OT9 set of unique, like these are unique selfies. These are just full ass, essentially POBs, except they didn't come. Oh, that's a pretty shot too. Except they didn't come with like an album. It is just a random set of 9 photo cards you bought through TikTok shop and they mailed to you. I didn't really feel like getting rid of these either. I'm like, a bit of a resolution I'm having is to like, I want to just keep like merch and like other OT9 sets that I come across. I want to start collecting slowly more OT9 sets outside of album photo cards. So I was like, well, I don't want to get rid of these TikTok shop cards. But they're not like, if that's the case, then I don't have a place to put them really at the moment. I don't have like a OT9 POB Lucky Draw binder. I only have the POB Lucky Draw binders that I have for Dahyun and Sui. So I was like, I'll just put them in the album photo cards, like just in the back of that era. So that's what it's going to be. And the reason I mentioned The Story Goes On in relation to this is The Story Goes On did continue the trend, what is hopefully a trend, of the Target cards being actual unique selfies. So I am doing the same thing for The Story Goes On, which we'll see when I store that era, hopefully within the next week or two. I will be doing the same thing where I store the Target pre-order set, all 9 of them, in the back of that era in my binder. What is... Oh, okay. That was weird. And Sui. And then finally the TikTok sets. So even though these aren't actual album photo cards, really, they do push This Is For to the being the new reigning champion of number of 9-pocket pages that this era takes up in one of my Korean album binders. I think Strategy was the previous record holder on that. Because what did Strategy have? Strategy has the... What does Strategy has the 14 or the 45 normal photo cards, so that's 5 pages. Then 6 pages for the Nemos, so that's 11 pages. Then 2 pages each for the Digipack and the highlight version, so that's 15. Whereas I think this is 16. If I well, we'll count in just a minute. So 15 is the number to beat if I'm actually correct. Again, even though they're not all album cards, if you went by just what most people would count as an album card, Strategy probably still is the most amount of photo cards in an era so far. But I'm still going to count for my own personal, what the record is in my binder. It'll just be how many pages I have photo cards for an era on in my Korean album card collection. So that's 1, 2, 3. Did I not close these rings correctly? Oh, no, I didn't. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yep, so 16. So yeah, that's we got a new king. And just to recount for Strategy had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, nice. So new champ in town. God damn, 2 eras is significantly more than half of the half of a, I guess, 1.5 inch binder now. Damn, these eras be thick nowadays. That's actually not all I wanted to do. I wanted to throw in a little bonus section real quick. It involves my POB binders. Or actually just Sui's POB binder for now. But I have these. So what these are the YZY, which is the Chinese-based storefront that Twice did a lot of pre-order bonuses through. This time around, instead of Star River, we had YZY. Or Star River was for Strategy, YZY now for This Is For. These are the most the rarest and most expensive of the YZY, of any of the YZY cards, because they are the in-person fan call or in-person fan sign winner cards for Dahe and Sui. So YZY did the same thing that Star River did for Strategy, which is they have POBs and such, POB events. They've had quite a few gift events. I guess they're not even POBs since most of them have happened after the album came out. But they've had purchase gift events where I think they've had 7 or so at this point, giving out different sets of exclusive This Is For purchase benefits. In all of that were fan call benefits as well. They had 2, I believe, online fan calls and 2 offline fan calls, and they did purchase benefits, purchase card sets for both the online and offline, like the fan calls and the fan sign. But they only did winner sets. They did purchase sets that you got just for purchasing albums to enter the fan calls or the fan signs for both the online and offline versions. But they only did these winner cards for the offline, like the actual in-person fan sign. Fan signs. They did two of the in-person fan signs through YZY. So for each of the two, they had a set. I don't actually think it was a. Did they give out? I don't think they gave out full OT9 sets, which is why these cards are pretty expensive. They only gave out one card per person, I believe. So yeah, these are the winner cards for the YZY, for the two YZY fan signs for both Dahyun and Sui, the offline fan signs. The reason I'm not storing Dahyun's is actually because I'm putting hers aside. What was it? I think I have some other stuff I'm waiting on that I'm receiving shortly to store in her POB binder that I just want to wait to do that on. But I'm going to store Tsui at the very least. And this is my POB binder for Tsui. I guess for reference, these are the fan sign winner card, the offline fan sign winner cards, which are the equivalent of these. Like these were the same thing for strategy through Star River. Her individual fan sign, like offline fan sign winner cards. Except for this is 4, and also format differently in the form of signed Polaroids. I just need one page, I think. Oh wait, I'm stupid. It goes in this hole. Got it. Okay. Oh, and I also need... These are not the sleeves I want to store these in. The backs are Polaroids too. Pretty cool. Or Polaroid style too, which is not always the case with Polaroid cards. I don't know which of these is fan sign 1 and fan sign 2. I would care to order them correctly if I knew off the dome, but I don't, and I don't care enough to look because I just want to store these. I just want to store these and just have them be available in my binder, as opposed to just sitting in a dark box on my shelf or on my desk. So this is just this feels like the right order. It could not be. It probably isn't, but that's my vibe. That's the vibe it's putting. And these are the first YZY cards I've gotten for This Is 4, but they definitely will not be the last. God damn, I'm still collecting This Is 4 6 months later. That's fine. I have a wonderful GOM I found who specializes in, specializes is maybe a strong word, but she does offer proxy service for I think it's called XY, which is, I assume, the Chinese equivalent of like a Bunjang or a Mercari Japan. Like just one, like I assume the most popular like online marketplace site for K-pop photocard collectors and like sellers for that specific country. In this case, again, China. She does proxy. She offers proxy services for people who want to buy like Twice stuff from that marketplace. And she's actually who sourced the fan sign winner cards from Strategy for me. And I'm actually working with her on building up. She's already got a few pieces like bought for me, and we're working on getting me the few more on both Dahyun and Sui's full YZY like set of POBs slash after release purchase event benefits. Just all the YZY cards for this is for both Dahyun and Sui. It's funny that these two sets are the first ones I have for the YZY cards because they're by a decent margin the most expensive and like the hardest to find. I just happened to get them from her when they were like just when they had just come, when people were just starting to list them after the fan sign happened. The other sets are not going to be nearly as expensive or quite as tough to find, but there is a lot of them, so that'll be interesting. Hopefully I can complete that before too long. But that so I'll be adding to this binder. I probably won't film as I add to this binder unless most of those cards come in one single package. Then I might unbox it and maybe store it on camera. But more likely it'll be over a couple packages over the next maybe like 2 or 3 months. In which case I'm just gonna store the shit off camera. But next time you see this binder, might be continued. But regardless, next video hopefully will be the opening, or not the opening, the storing of all the story goes on photo cards, and the album photo cards specifically, not the POBs and Lucky Draws. Then at some point I'll unbox a large group order package I have of a bunch of stuff from the past few months. And after that, we just keep it pushing until whatever Twice does next. But regardless, thank you for watching. Peace.